Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics. We're going to try to wrap up the 81 Z28. Last episode we put the I made the door panels. If you haven't seen the episode, you can watch that. Thinking about redoing it in gold, but we got some grease on there. But anyway, to me it's pretty much done for now. I gotta wait a few months to get the title through the title place, and we're just gonna wait on it. We're probably gonna go ahead and try. I could try to advertise it as is for a high dollar amount, but I don't think anybody's gonna buy it. But unless it's painted up, so we still got. You know, I'd have to buy the decal kit and stuff like that. You know, I got the paint. I bought all this Nason paint. One of it is called Champagne Gold. I haven't opened it. I think it was called Champagne Gold, whatever it was. Diamond. Champagne Gold Pearl 400-59. That, other than dark brown, is about the only color I got that would be some type of gold beige. It's either briar brown, whole earth metallic, UPS brown. But anyway, yeah, that's not the name of the paint that's on it, Champagne Gold, but that's what that's called. And well, of course I'll open it up before I gotta paint it with something I got, guys. It can't be the exact color. So that sounds close. So anyway, what am I doing now? Oh man, mentioned last video, put the starter bolts on with the impact and busted one of them. The other one stayed in there and the starter was tight, but over time, starting it 100 times, the other one broke. One of them did come off. I don't know. Oh, here's one here. That's one. I started grinding that, and I'll show you in a minute. So you gotta didn't have to take the header off, but the transmission lines are in the way. But I could bend them a little bit, and anyway, undone the starter wires, and it came out where it's right here. See, it busted a chunk off of it here. I saved it somewhere. So we got that out, and the bolts are up in there about that much inside the hole. They're not sticking out, so you can't take them out easy. So got the new starter right here and bolts right there. Okay, so I was screwing around with it, and you can't get a drill. You can't get a drill up there because the transmission lines are in the way. I'll show you here in a minute. So, been using this. I think I needed for something else. Let me see here. I got a, oh, is that the adapter? Using this here, and then using a drill bit like this that fits in there. So I'm using this as a drill, which, you know, you can't get a good straight. And anyway, so then in my stash of stuff, my drills, I found these were new. They're called screw out damaged screw removers from Craftsman. small, medium, and large. Of course, I tried the large first. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I should have started with the small one. So anyway, I tried all them on one of the bolts, and I think one of them came out, was turning, and got just about even with the block, because it was up, you know, 1/4 inch. It got even with the block. So then I tried welding. Well, I tried welding that on it first. That didn't work. And then I tried grinding that and welded that, and I was just welding up the whole hole. So screwing around, and so it screwed up now, and I just finished grinding the weld around where the hole was, and then I started into the drilling with the drill bits. So watched a video on it, and actually you're supposed to use like a washer. So you would go, if this was a big washer, put that over so it doesn't weld onto the block, see, and you weld that washer onto the end of the bolt that's left in there, and then you would weld a nut like this on the washer, and then turn it out. But yeah, the washer would have been a good idea. Wouldn't have got all weld around the block and welded pretty much welded that stud that was left onto the block. But I'm hoping I can get it out now. So then most of them were these screw exactor easy out type things here. I went to Harbor Freight and bought all this stuff. So the only drill bits I can use are ones that are going to hook onto the impact here. So I got because if these don't work, then you pretty much have to drill the whole bolt out and redo it. Use a thread thing to make new threads, but I don't think we have to go that far. We may screw up the bottom of it, but as long as 3/4 of it is good, the bolt should screw into it. Rethread it, I meant. So anyway, I bought all them with the big ones on there. So you got to get the drill with these things on there to fit on this, and then 3 of these. So, and then these are, you know, 5 different sizes. So you would put that, you would drill a hole and put that in there, and you got to reverse it. But they say to do it by hand. So you'd put a ratchet on it and just turn it slightly. So this would grip the screw hole and then thread the bolt out of there. But with that one being welded on there, probably ain't gonna come out. And then you're supposed to do a center punch on the bolt, so you don't do what I did and have it wiggling it around and going off to the side. You got to get it perfectly centered. So let's I'll show you. Not going to show you the whole process because it's going to be too hard getting the camera under here and working, and metal shavings hitting the camera and all that stuff. So I'll just show you. There's the area. See the header. Header's not in the way. It's just some transmission lines, but I got it coming out through here. So there's one hole that I just ground off. You can see where I've got a big drill bit, and it started going onto the side of it. And then the other side, it's still stuck up in there. So, 1, 2. So we got to get them out of there. And no, I'm not pulling the engine and all that stuff to do it. So, way too much work. So we're just going to try and do it the way I said. So we can get a starter on it. We already got the electric fuel pump. I took the old fuel pump off, and then we need to bleed the whole brake system. It's got all new brake, master cylinder, calipers, and all that stuff on it. It's going to be hell trying to bleed all that. But those are the 2 main things. Get the starter on there, bleed the brakes, and just maybe some little knick-knack stuff. and then that's it. We're gonna get it so it drives around here. We can drive it around, and I'm just gonna park it till I get the title, or you know, I don't know. Maybe put it up for sale, take a bunch of pictures, see what people would offer me for it, but I'm not gonna hold out any hope of selling it. So as is. But we need that out of the way. I got other stuff to work on. We got cars to paint later on in that area there, so I need it out of this spot here so we can pull cars in and out. I'm gonna move my hoist over here, and then we're gonna, after this car here, we're gonna work on the 67 a little bit and get rid of that A-frame and all that, get this area cleared out. Okay, well, I'll be screwing around trying to drill out them starter bolts, so I'll be back. Okay guys, I'll give you a little update. It's been a few days. It got cold a few days. I didn't work on it. It's nice out now, like 65 and sunny. I screwed around with it yesterday for a couple hours. The one side that was flush with the block, well, it's mostly flush because I tried welding on a bolt to it. I got that to move a little bit. It was moving backwards and forwards with, had to drill a hole in it like 1/8 inch, and then you can use these extractor. I just bought some more because I think I busted this one and this one, two of them. So you start off with an 1/8, then you get a little bit bigger. I don't know how good all these drill bits are now. I've been drilling and drilling. I moved the transmission lines out of the way so I can barely get this drill in there and up enough to drill. It's really, really tight, but I can drill straight up into it. So that's the one I've been working on. And I put one of these bits on there, and it went in there, and it started to move, and I kept going forwards, backwards, and all of a sudden it just snapped. Do I got one in here? I'll show you. Not that one. No, that one's good. Right there. There's one that snapped. Did this one snap too? I think, well, two of them snapped off. Maybe a chunk of that one. So anyway, then I had to drill through that again, re-drill it, and that's where I'm at now. So I'm going to drill it a little bit more and then stick one of these new ones in there, probably this one here. And you're supposed to do it by hand. I know. I got a breaker bar and a deal to put on there. See, I've been using. Oh no, there's the other one. There's the other one snapped. See. So yeah, I think this is all this stuff. Anyway, and put that on a socket. And you're supposed to use it by hand and move it, but I was using my impact. Oh, that's where the other thing is there. This is what I've been putting them into, like this. So I was going forwards and backwards because it's, you know, easier than to do it by hand. So I think it's going to come out. But it was moving and stuff because I think part of it was still where I welded on. Some of the weld was still, it was broken loose, but it was just hitting the edge of the hole, and that's what made it snap. So I used a thing and a hammer, and I tried to tap those edges there, see if I can break it away from hitting the wall. And re-drilled it, and that's where I'm at now. So I'm fixing to get up underneath there, and I'm 99% sure I can get that one out. Now the other one is sunk up about that far in there, See? So I seen these at Harbor Freight and I thought there's no way these are gonna work because it'll snap. So for that second hole, I can't get a drill in there tight. It has to be way down by the because the header's in the way. So it'll be straight up, but like the header would be like right here. See? So you can't get the drill in between this area here and get a straight shot at it. I was using the drill bits and a long extension here, but you know, that's kind of wobbly. You try to drill and it's like this, right? You can hold it with one hand. You can hold this with one hand and trigger with the other hand and get it fairly straight, but not real straight. So I seen these, you know, they're $7.99 each. I thought, okay, I'll just buy one and test it. So now I can get a straight shot at it, and if I can get a hole in there, a 1/8 hole in there, then I can use one of these bigger ones that's kind of wobbly, but drill it out a little bit better. And if you just get the slightest little bite on it, it should come out, because doesn't have the weld slag around it that's going to stop it from coming out. So I shouldn't snap any of these off. Okay, so yeah, that's where I'm at. So it's kind of hard to film under there or anything, but I'll show you the bits that come out, and if I can get them out, that's what I'm hoping to accomplish today. It might take a while. It takes a while to drill through that stuff, especially when you got a snapped off bit in there trying to re-drill through that. But anyway, okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys, it's actually the next day. Messed with it a few hours yesterday, and arms getting tired being a contortionist under here. Okay, so I welded a washer like this. That one there I got flush with the block, so I couldn't drill no more. Those busted bits in there, you couldn't drill through them. These busted nut extractors that busted off inside there, couldn't drill. I tried about 5 new drill bits in a row, couldn't even get through it. Okay, so it was flush with the block. I welded this on there, and then a nut on the end, and I've been just tacked it on here to hold it right there, and then I welded inside the middle there. So it's just about to come out. Let me put on a glove here. Hang on. Okay, it's probably still hot. Should just come out by hand. There it is, right there. So there's the other side. See, this is the one I just took out. That was do I got the new, I thought I brought a new bolt out. We'll test out the threads, but it should be okay. So this one here, that was flush, but I've been drilling the shit out of it. Now it's embedded in there a little bit. This one, the one I just took out, that was way up in there, about 1 inch. And like I said, the little extractor there, it got it out to flush before it busted. So it lucked out there. Now this one here, I don't know, you can kind of see the bit busted off in there. I've been trying to drill through that too. I don't know if I can get that washer on there and get a weld right through the center of it to get it out, because because I don't want to get welds on the side of the block and weld the whole thing in there again. That's kind of what I did before without using a washer. So anyway, let me get a I thought I got a bolt out. I did get a bolt out, but I don't know what I did with it. Yeah, it's laying there somewhere. Here's the other one anyway. Pretty sure that first one should be okay. But we'll test it. You see how close the header is to it. And yeah, it'll fit just barely by the header. Well, I'm hoping the thread should be okay, but are these bolts the same? 9/16. Anyway, I'll get them started in there and make sure they're good. I don't want to jam them in there with an impact again. We're gonna have to go by hand. Okay, so let me mess with this one here, and I'll try to drill it out some more. I got a couple of new drill bits left. I'll try to drill through the center, but I don't think I'm gonna have much luck. I'm gonna have to risk welding it right through the center without welding the block. So hopefully it'll come out as easy as this one did after welding. Let's cool down now. But yeah, just get a washer weld through the center onto that middle there, and then weld the nut on. Okay, I'll be back. Oh guys, I'm having no luck getting that other one out. I'll show you. Right there. I've tried welding on about 3 or 4 washers and nuts. It just keeps breaking off. Breaking off. 1, 2, 3. But I found another bolt hole right there. See, this is a staggered, like most of all GMs, I guess. A bolt here and a bolt there. Well, there's a bolt hole there that's screwed right into it, the new bolt. So I don't know if I can get a starter that has that design. I was gathering up a box of old parts. Most of these were in that 80 Camaro. Well, that one's busted, so I can remember not to use that. But like here's a staggered one. Again, it's kind of busted there. But then here's a straight one there. That's the kind I need. But this is I think this one's a Pontiac, because this would be on the driver's side. See, so I need it the opposite. I need this thing here to be around the other way. This one, yeah, see, it is busted. I should just throw that out. I have no idea what this is off of. It's just been laying around here, but it's the same deal here. 2 deals, but it's not a GM. So I don't know what that came off of. I guess I could throw that out. That's no good anyway. So I have to find out which 350 engines came with the 2 bolt holes like that, like a Pontiac. but with the opposite. If I could do that, it would be great. You know, I could always use this motor, this starter here for another engine. So yeah, this would need this to be over here. So right, it would sit up there like that. Yeah, need it right here. And this is some type of alloy, so I couldn't cut that off and weld it over here. It's, you know, not metal. So anyway, I think that's the best way to go about it, unless I try to drill that out all the way. You know, it's weld now, so I could grind it down a little bit and then drill through it. It should drill through that okay compared to the easy out thread thing. And I might be able to drill it up, you know, an 1/8 inch or something, and then get a screw extractor in there. Maybe it'll come out, but I'm not counting on it. This is the third day now. I spent a couple hours each day screwing around with that thing. I think I'll look on eBay, see if I can figure out a starter, order another starter. So it's probably gonna have to sit here for a while. Okay, well, I'll be back when I figure something out. Okay guys, I took this starter off the 96 Firebird Trans Am LT1 engine. That's what I need, like that, instead of staggered. It's called staggered, that's called straight bolt pattern. The problem with this starter is it's shorter here than this one, and this housing is in this way more. I just tried fitting it on there, it wouldn't fit. See, this one's over farther, so it ain't gonna work. I didn't think it would, but I already ordered a the only starter I could find that would fit it with the straight bolt pattern is a mini starter, and it's supposed to fit. It's supposed to fit all small blocks, and it's supposed to fit. There's two flywheel teeth size, 153 and 168, and I don't know how, but the mini starter said it fits both. So I even went on the AI thing there on my laptop that's, I don't know, Microsoft or something, and asked them about it, and then, yeah, they said get one that fits both size teeth. And then they recommended a couple that were very expensive, like $300. Like, no, I got the mini starter for $50. Anyway, I guess we'll come back to this in you know, 3, 4, 5 days whenever it gets here. The other thing I was going to do with this was bleed the brakes, but I don't know if I want to do that right now or get something else done. But anyway, we'll be back. Okay guys, it's about more than a week later. Waiting on this starter. They didn't even ship it for 5 days. You know, you can check the online tracking, and label created. 5 days later it finally gets going. And then it was another whatever, 3, 4 days. But anyway, this is it. $50 special off eBay. I just tested it on a battery there, and it engages. We got 4 holes there. We got to figure out which two we should, you know, I lined it up. Here's the other starter here. So it's either that one and that one, or that one and that one. But anyway, it should work. Oh, that one there's a little shorty. I kept the hopefully they're the same, the bolts off the LT1 starter. One was long and one was a short one. So we got all the bolts. Okay, well, let me get up under there and hook it up, and we'll go from there, see if she works. These little mini starters are a bunch of them for 50-55 bucks, but then there's a lot of them that look the same for 178, 200 bucks. It's like, I don't know what the difference is, but anyway, we're trying with the cheap one. Not okay, so let me get it on there and I'll be back. Okay, guys, crawl under there and give you a peek. Wasn't easy. Header's right in the way. That bolt there's a bitch because of the header, and then it wouldn't go in all the way. It was just a little bit too short, like it was. Anyway, I had to put a washer on there, then I had to cut the washer to make it fit the header. So anyway, got 2 bolts in there and the power connected now. This teeth, I don't know how good you can see there, but man, it is really close because it pops out, and it looks like it's not over this way far enough. I don't know if that's getting a good shot dead on or not, but we're gonna try it. I gotta go get the battery out of the Jeep that I bought for this, and then it's not yeah, there is some drips there, some drips coming down the water pump down this hose here. It was leaking the other day real bad, but is it the wheat pole? Yeah, it is. It's the wheat pole right there. Shit. So gotta get a water pump. It's the old style. Remember, I put everything old style on this engine because it was a TBI engine. Not gonna do the water pump now, but later on we'll have to get a water pump. Shouldn't be too difficult. It's just that I spent a lot of time lining up and making a bracket for that power steering, but that's okay. I'll take it all apart. Probably I got a couple more, you know, a couple of water pumps. There's one there, and probably got a couple more laying around. But if they're cheap enough, I'll just buy a new one so I don't have to keep doing it over and over again. Okay, well, I needed to flush that cooling system anyway. I flushed it out best I could. It wasn't very good though. And then filled it up with water and antifreeze, and it just turns chocolate milk. So it was all rusty in there, you know. Engine's sitting around forever. Well, it sat around here for 5 years, and then it sat in that van for 10. The guy had it parked, so it was sitting 15 years. She runs great though. Okay, well, let me get the get a battery, and we'll test it out, and hopefully it works and engages. It just seems that needs to be over just a little bit farther, but nothing you can do. There's no adjustments. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys, I took the battery from the Jeep, tested it, and it was pretty low. It said 51% something and then 0 charge. But anyway, I put it on there and it cranked over. Slow, because it was, battery's almost dead, but it cranked over. So them teeth are hitting. Just got the charger on it. So what we got to do next is, I didn't have any vacuum modulator hoses from the transmission. Like this here, although this is different, this is Corvette, but same concept. Goes from there up and then into a vacuum on the manifold. Didn't have any. Then when I cleaned out this area to get my wheelbarrow or concrete mixer out, I found 3 of them. So 3 of them here. This one's just half a rigged together piece of thing. This one I'm not sure, but this one looks like a regular Chevy. That one should fit. Okay, and we'll have to blow the air hose out there, because that's what was wrong with the Hot Rod Nova. It was shifting and everything until the guy took it for a test drive and it never shifted. I was like, God damn it. And then the next day I put a new modulator valve on there, because I bought one. This one was missing one, or no, it was all crudded up. Anyway, I bought 2 of them. So I put the new one on the Hot Rod Nova and it didn't work. It's like, well, it has to be the line. So I took the line off, blew it out. Sure enough, it was clogged up. So anyway, we're just going to make sure that's free. And yeah, I got the new modulator on there. Then we'll route that up and connect that. And that should be it for a while. The only other thing underneath that speedometer cable, it's leaking transmission fluid from there. But other than that, well, and the water pump. But other than that, it should be okay. But we want to do some other work to this. We want to get it, be able to run on its own, run and drive. Oh, we got to bleed the brakes next. I might have to bleed that master cylinder first. Take that apart, take the hoses off and bleed that first, and then go from there, because this is all new brake stuff on here. So it's going to be a bitch trying to bleed it. But that's the main goal, to get it running, driving, and stopping on its own, so we can drive it around here. And we're going to park it for a few months till I get the title, and then decide if we're going to paint it or not. But I wanted to get it out of the way so we can, all this stuff here is going to be cleared out of here, put away. All this was for the 81, for that car. This is for the 67, and then I just got, you know, a new welder and heater and stuff, and we're gonna put that stuff over there, put these old door panels back in a junk Camaro, and then get this ready to be a paint booth again. And pretty soon we're gonna get the Mustang in here and paint it after I fix all the hail damage. But anyway, on this car, yeah, let me do this vacuum line tomorrow, and we'll get it all running and stuff and start on them bleeding the brakes. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, next day. Got the transmission modulator valve there connected underneath. Then that fuel pump wouldn't work. I had this fuel pump here on it, and this wasn't a cheap one. Well, it was like 25 bucks. It's supposed to, I think if I remember right, 3-year warranty or some shit. I should return it, but it doesn't do nothing. Connect it to power and doesn't do anything. So I put one of those cheap ones on like this. I put this one on, and it fried the wire. So I think I must have
had the wire, the other power wire going there. I must have opened it up there to test it at some point, and it hit something, and anyway it fried that wire there, but not the big red wire that goes all the way back. So I brought that to the battery, put that on the positive, that to the negative, and it actually worked. So I bought 2 of them for, I don't know what they were, 17 bucks for 2. So I put the other one on there, and then I had a problem. I have a whole bag of these new filters, and I guess I had it hooked up backwards. Had this pointing the other way, and all of a sudden it was just blowing gas out of here. Then I turned it over, I got another one, put it on this way, and anyway, it works, but it still does the same thing. It'll run for a minute, then die. It'll start right back up, and then die, like it runs out of gas. I think it must be that carburetor. I must have bought probably about 5 of those carburetors, and I swapped a lot of them back and forth to make sure it wasn't a carburetor like that Silverado truck I had. And anyway, I think it must be, something's up with it. I don't know. Oh, let me connect the so then I had the power wire for the electric fuel pump hooked up over here, so I can turn on the fan switch, and so it would get power and work. And then it worked for a little bit, and then no power, but the fan still worked. Well, it had a very, very dim thing on my tester. Anyway, I ended up just connecting it to here, to the positive. I think I'm just going to hook up a toggle switch. You can hear it back here. I got it up. Got it up there. So I don't expect that cheap one to last very long, but so the starter works. See, it runs great. Well, when I was changing that fuel filter out, that gas in there was very dark. See, it just dies. It'll start right back up. Very dark yellow and stinky. I thought I emptied that tank out, and I must put 5 or 10 gallons of gas in there altogether. See, why does it keep dying like that? See? Like it completely runs out of gas. I think the timing's off, I know that. It has that little rattle there. See? Just dies. But it's getting plenty of gas. I unhooked it there, and there, and it's shooting out gas. A while back I changed it. See, it was doing this before. Disconnect that. And I changed that fuel filter, or took it out, or did something. So it's not the gas going in there. I don't know. There's something inside there that's... May have to get another carburetor at some point. But anyway, yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to drive it like that. Well, so the only thing left to do is to bleed the brakes, and then we're going to park this thing for a while. Well, there's some other stuff I could do. I can't remember if I checked this rear end out, see if it was a posi track. Because, like I said, it was all bolts missing and sway bar missing and stuff like that. I think somebody did the same thing with that 70 Z28, and they took the posi out and put in another 10 bolt, but we'll check it. And then we need to check that 80 as well. And make sure the one I'm keeping is going to have a posi track in it. So either use a posi for this one if this one isn't a posi, or for the 70 Z28. So anyway, and then I wanted to pour 15 the gas tank under there, scuff it down, and one thing I didn't do. I think I might have checked, maybe I checked the rear end fluid in this and topped it off, but not the, didn't take the cover off, something like that. But anyway, let me, this starter seems to work good. That was like 58 bucks with tax and everything. Well, that was 50, but I think it was 55, then plus tax ended up being 58. Okay, well, this thing's going to be a pain in the ass to bleed. I put some fluid in it before. I mean, it sat for all these years with no fluid in it. But I may have to take off these lines here and bleed the master cylinder anyway. And then reconnect it, open up the bleeder screw, see if it'll gravity bleed. I don't know, but yeah, I'll be doing that. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I want to show you a product, a lithium ion battery from Vatrer. Got a website, vatrerpower.com. This is the way it came, packed very good. Ion battery. Got handles here to lift it up. So we're going to open it up. Now, you can use these for RVs, campers, boats, power supply for a house, battery supply and storage. You know, if you got like a solar panel, just keep her charged up, live off grid. Man, she is a big one. Yeah, these things will last like over 10 years. They're not like a regular battery that'll crap out after a year or two. So we're gonna hook this up to my winch on the trailer to test it out. It looks very, very large for my winch, but we'll give it a shot. But I'm most likely going to use it in my tiny house, and we're going to have a 12-volt system in there with lights and stuff in there, accessories and stuff, in case the power goes out or something like that. And eventually I'll probably hook up some solar panels, keep it charged all the time. But anyway, let me get this pulled out of the box and bring my trailer over here, and we'll hook it up. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I just lifted it out of the box. So it's a model 460AH. So I'm going to put a link below the video description, and you can check them out. They got all different sizes, stuff. These are little protective covers here. So you'd hook it up here. I just unscrewed that. It was in there like that. Okay, here's your on button here. You see it light up, and it is Bluetooth, so you can hook it up to your phone app, and you can check on how much juice it's got left, all that stuff. Now this one here, this will power like everything in an RV for days. So yeah, so there's all the model names and stuff like that, and just your safety instructions here. Okay, so yeah, let me get my trailer over here and we'll check it out. Okay guys, it fitted in my little basket thing there. And see, I got this to turn power on and off, but won't really need that because of got the power button there. So I just took that up. There's the little safety covers, and it works. Yep, I'm sure it will pull up a car no problem. So yeah, check them out. Check them out. If you can't see the video description, if you're watching on TV or something, just go to the their website there. Look at me, all these stickers here. I'll put some of them on. But yeah, vatrepower.com. And tell them Clunkers and Classics sent you. Now they have sent me a battery a while back from my RV, so I'll show you that here real quick. Like I said, multiple uses you can use it for, and it'll power this RV no problem. Yeah, that's it there, hooked up in my RV. Here's the power button there. See it come on? So yeah. Okay guys, well, check them out, and okay guys, next day. Okay, I took these lines off here and used the little plastic bleeder hoses and stuff that come with the new master cylinder. I just did it to the 67 last video, or video before, whatever. So I think I remember putting these lines on. I think this had the master cylinder and the booster on there, but not the proportioning valve and these lines. And I'd put them on there. So basically this had all been opened up for, you know, at least 5 years from what we know. The receipts on the front end parts and stuff were 5 years old. Cannot get any, of course I had no brake pedal. But the master cylinder was bled. So I used this one-man bleeder here, brake bleeder. So what this does is you hook that line up there to the brake bleeder screw, loosen it, put it on there, and then once it starts sucking fluid in there, you can see some fluid there, then you tighten the bleeder screw up. Well, you turn this on first. It sucks it, makes a vacuum. Then once you've got fluid coming out of there pretty good, then you back off the air, tighten the bleeder screw, then unhook this. So I started with the front, and nothing. Couldn't get no fluid. Started pumping the brake pedal while it was vacuuming out, and I started getting brake pedal instead of going to the floor. So I kept pumping it and stuff, and then I just tightened it up like it, you know, like I had gotten fluid out of it. Did the other side, and then I had great pressure. But, you know, can't test the brakes. It's up on jack stands and stuff, but not running. So I left them. Back brakes. Started with this one, same way. Wasn't putting out no fluid. Pump the brakes, and all of a sudden the fluid starts going. So there was something jammed in the line there, little piece of trash or something. That's the fluid that came out of it. It's pretty black. So, you know, obviously it had some back something in the back brake lines. So anyway, got that one to come out fluid, tightened it up, and then went to this side, same thing. Pumped the brake pedals, and it got finally pumped the fluid. So tightened it up, and it got good brake pedal. But I don't see how the front brakes are going to work unless it's relying on air pressure or something. But I think I took these lines off another car, because this one didn't have no brake lines. And I take these off a parts car, I believe. But did I blow them all out and everything? I think I would have, but I may not have. So if anything, they're going to be in these lines here. You know, one, you know, it's like the 67 here. One coming up here, and then one going to the other side. But right now, I'm not going to worry about it. We're not. It's not going on the road or nothing. I'm not going to bother checking the diff for posi track. What we'll do, because we're fixing to start it up and drive it and move it. So I'll just get over here in the grass and floor it and see if it leaves two tire marks. But I want to hook up that. I think what I'll do, hook up the fuel pump line. And yeah, I've had comments, oh, put a manual fuel pump on there. Yeah, well, those are people that don't pay attention. This is a TBI engine. Doesn't have a spot, a hole for a manual fuel pump. You got to use electric one. Hate them with a passion. Anyway, that line there, right here, like I said, I tried to hook it up to heater switches, and sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. So we're going to run that line. Well, I'm going to check the fuse block here with my tester, and we should be able to get a connection on there that just comes on with the key, because that's what we want. This brake, hang on. Oh yeah, there's no doesn't need brake cables. Brake cable to here was all rotted, and then the brake lines to that rear end were cut. That's what I'm thinking. It was all loose in there. I tightened everything up, put on the sway bar and tightened everything. But yeah, those brake cables for the emergency brake are cut. So somebody swapped rear ends in this. And I would assume someone took the posi out of this and put in a non-posi. But we don't know for sure. That one looks all original, so that was most likely a posi. But we don't know for sure either, because I can't romp on it because it's got no brakes whatsoever. Bleeder screws are busted off, so I can't even try to bleed them or get a couple of them working. But we will test that at some point and take off the diff cover and all that. So yeah, I want to hook up a, hang on. want to hook the fuel pump wire up to one that comes on with the ignition key. And if I can't find one, then I'm going to have to use a toggle switch. And if I remember right on this, if I when it was running there, I would just rev it up a couple of times, vroom, 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 like that, and then that dying would stop. So it wouldn't stall, because we don't want that. Even just driving around here, we don't want to keep stalling every 2 seconds. But anyway, that's the plan. I don't know if I can get by here or not. I may not. We'll have to drive it around here. And well, yeah. But we still got, so that's all I'm going to do to it for now. That'll be it for this video. After the test drive and everything. And then I got a list, you know, stuff to do to it. We got the water pump leaking. I don't know if I want to use this water pump. That, I believe, was in the 80. Most of this stuff was in the 80 Z28 when I bought it from the junkyard. So why, you know, they got another motor in it. Were these parts from the old motor? Were they junk parts that don't work? We don't know. That's why they're in this box separately, because I got a whole bunch of these parts in my shed that, you know, I think are pretty good. But I don't want to take a chance of doing all that work for that water pump and that one leaking too. They got two at AutoZone, one for 56 and one for 72. Neither one of them in stock. And on eBay, they're not that cheap. They're about the same price, but most of them are around 100. So we're going to hold off on this doing the water pump for now. Like I said, there's no rush. We're going to park it for a few months, let the title come in, all that. May take some pictures, see if there's any, put them in some groups, put them out Marketplace, see if there's any interest in somebody wanting to buy it as is. That way they can see that it's not a rusted out pile of shit. And before we paint it, because once you paint it, then it's hidden everything. You know, even though I got pictures and videos of it, the initial people that are looking at the ad might not be interested in it painted like that or whatever. So we'll see if somebody wants to buy it for a good price unpainted. If not, then we'll later on, months from now, we'll do the little body work on it, which ain't much, strip her down and paint it all. And I think these stripes were $269 for the stripe kit, Z28, because you know it takes all these here, takes all these stripes, and the stripes here coming down all across the front spoiler. So that's $269 just for that. 80 something dollars for the Z28 emblem for here, and for the back, I don't know if I mentioned it in this video, I may have, there's another 160, so 269 and another 100, there's $400 just there. May have to get seat covers for it, another couple of hundred for that. I don't really want to put another 1,000 into this right now. Two back tires. I got two new front small ones, but these ones are so rotted and weather cracked and lumpy that they will not last 2 miles down the road. Especially this one here. I was looking at this. Look at this one all. She's about to blow. Good enough for around here, but so, and those are pretty wide tires, and I'm gonna have to rebuy wide tires because these are the wide rims. You can see it all here, hitting a fender well or something. Not that I gotta get BF Goodrich. These are 245 6014. Yeah, they're gonna be, oh, probably $150 each, So there's another 300. And you can go on and on. The water pump, that not too much stuff to for running and driving and stuff. The mechanical stuff's pretty much done, other than the water pump. And like I said, we just need count on buying stripe kits and tires and seat covers and stuff. So yeah, there's another 300. Do I want to put 1,300 more into this? No. I'm going to concentrate more on this one here. So, and like I said, we'll worry about that after I get the title, put it up for sale, see if there's any bites and all that. But anyway, right now, let me see if I can find a on ignition wire, hook up that fuel pump wire, get it off the jack stands. Oh, we got the speedo cable leaking on the transmission. And oh, we need a radiator shroud. When I say they were 160 bucks, I just haven't got one. I got these two here, but they just don't, they're busted up and they just don't fit right. We need the exact factory one for this. So there's another 160. Yeah, I could go on and on with little nitpicking stuff. But you know, if I put it up for sale and somebody, oh, paint it up and fix this and I'll give you 12 grand or 15 grand or something, then I'll do it. But until then, okay, so yeah, let me do that. We'll get it ready and we'll take it for its first drive and who knows how long. The brake stuff was done 5 years ago, but he told me he's had it on and off. The guy I bought it from the junkyard. For 15 years, off and on. He sold it, and then had his nephew gonna build it, and then he sold it again, and it came back, traded it back again, and nobody ever did nothing with it. And that was 15 years worth of that stuff, but we have no registration or any dates of when exactly it was parked. You know, the odometer, there's the original speedometer and stuff in here. The odometer reads 82,000 miles. And that may be original. Well, we don't know for sure. So, you know, could have been a, who knows when it was parked. So anyway, we're fixing to take it for its first drive in at least 15 years. Probably, if I was to guess, I'd say 20, 25 years. And drive it around here counts as a drive, right? Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I've been here I've been working here for a few hours anyway, probably 4 or 5 hours since I last well, probably about 3 hours. Couldn't get no brakes, get fluid out of them, and then the back brakes kept going empty. Both lines, this car didn't have any brake lines in the back. I rounded some up and I put them in there. They were tight, but I guess there was trash in there or something, because they were leaking out of the lines that screw into the brake cylinder. Took them out, sprayed them with some stuff there, parts cleaner stuff, and screwed, both of them were leaking, just gushing fluid out. So I think I got them stopped and then bled it again. Fluid's coming out of the bleeder. And front ones bleed them. Lots of air bubbles coming. You know, you're supposed to do it and do it until the air bubbles. Hang on. Till the air bubbles stop. Well, the air bubbles never stop on a system that's been apart for many years. There's too much air in the lines. So I did it till I ran out of fluid. I had 2 of these cans here, and it's still no brakes. Could be a bad master cylinder maybe or something, but, and now it's going to be low. Well, a little bit. See, there's enough in there, but if I go to bleed them again, there won't be. Yeah, this line here connecting to the caliper, they were all new, but those lines were in a box. And one of the lines was leaking right where it bolts into the caliper. And I tightened the shit out of it. It was still leaking, so I took it apart and turned it over. And it seems to stop leaking. This was the puddle from it. But it was put in the same way as the other side. I know I put them in right, but for some reason, if you flipped it over, it doesn't leak now. So, can't get it to run more than a few seconds. The back pump there, it sounded like it was petering out, not putting enough fuel up. So, I hooked up another fuel pump here to give it a little boost. Because before, I would disconnect it from here, and with just the one fuel pump at the back, it was pumping out pretty good. And a little while ago, it was just dribbling out. So something's happening. I put about 3 gallons of new gas in there, and put on this pump here. I just got it. So both of them are pumping, and plenty of fuel. But it'll just run, just like I showed you earlier there. It'll run and die, run and die. Mess with the timing every which way. It's not in the timing. It has to be that carburetor. Unless that intake's leaking, you know, I can't get it running long enough to really check it out and spray stuff around there to see if it's leaking. But I got that from a subscriber. And I don't know, it could be. It was pretty cruddy and everything. I cleaned it up best I could, but I would suspect a carburetor. But I can't remember the last car that was on. It was on the Silverado or something, and it run pretty good. So this time it's not, and it's backfiring and everything. Now that could be from the bad. It's really dark yellow gas, and you know, and so I put 3 gallons of good gas in there. So either way, even if I got it running good, I can't move it because it got no brakes whatsoever. I moved it back, you know, from here, but I had no brakes. I had to jam it into park, and it needs to run for a while and get the idle down and all that, because high idle, you put it into gear and it wants to take off. So but I'd probably wait till tomorrow. I think tomorrow morning I'll get a couple of more things of brake fluid, or try gravity feeding them or something, but something like that, because it usually takes about 10 times. Go around the whole damn thing 10 times. I've already done it about 5. Probably another 10 times to get all that air out of there, out of all them lines. It's the same problem's going to be with this car here. I've been messing with it a little bit. Got new fluid in there, and no leaks or nothing, but anyway, so I have to get a couple more of them. And I don't know, I don't have a good carburetor. I got that Holly that a subscriber gave me, but I don't know how good it works, and I don't have the adapter. But I think this manifold has an adapter for both carburetors. Usually the Quadrajet and then the Holly or Edelbrock or whatever. Because usually you'd have to buy an adapter. But I don't know how good it works, and it's going to be a real pain in the ass because I don't have the right fuel lines for it. And all the linkage is going to be different. And I spent a lot of time on this linkage, making this bracket and everything, and getting them in the right spot, and doing all kinds of crap. So I'd rather put a Quadrajet on here, but I don't have a good one. Yeah, this is that Holly that a subscriber gave me. Then I got the old Holly from the 80 Z28 that idles great. It just bogs down when you go to give it gas. It ain't worth a shit. I think that's in this box here. But like I said, I don't have all this fuel adapters and stuff for the dual double pumper. So I don't know what I can do, guys. I'm not, you know, I don't want to. God, I got it. Like I said, I bought about 5 of them. The 4 of them's been really good. I got a damn good one on my black El Camino, but do I want to take that off and put it on here just to test it? I don't know. Yeah, and then there's one on Art's Malibu. I think there was one on the Hot Rod Nova, one on the Silverado, and then this one. So yeah, there's about 5 of them. If that's what it is. But anyway, I'll figure it out. But either way, it won't run long enough to be driving it. And it seems like it'll run for a little bit, but as soon as I put it into gear, it'll die. So I don't know if that's why I'm thinking it was vacuum related. But I don't know. But anyway, I'll probably mess with it tomorrow. See if we can get it running and the brakes working a little bit at least. So I'll be back. Okay, guys. This is another Chinesium knockoff quadrajet. Works perfect on this engine. It runs great. I hate to take it off. I hate to be swapping engine parts from one car to another, but I don't think we have any choice here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this one off. I got this deal here that will have to stay with this car, and it's got a manual heat riser choke thing. Remember how I weld that together? That works good too, but that'll come off with a clip. This deal here is going to be different. This will be different. The Camaro one I got coming straight out. So anyway, take that off, brake booster, vacuum off, then of course the 4 bolts and the linkage, transmission kick down, and this little bracket here. But yeah, anyway, we know this one works great. So if it doesn't work great on the Camaro, then it's something else. But I'm 90% sure it's with that carburetor. But anyway, let me take this off. We'll put it on there, and then I'll order another one. But we'll see what happens. I'd like to keep this carburetor on this engine, so we may order another one of these, or one of those Holley knockoffs, or something else for the Camaro eventually. But for right now, we want to get it running good so it doesn't stall out and all that stuff, and drive it around after we bleed the brakes. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I got the other carburetor on there all hooked up. Just had to change over those little linkage things there, and there's the old one. So we're fixing to test it. I haven't tested it yet, so we're fixing to turn the key on, get the first fuel pump going. You can hear it. And then we'll get the second one here. Okay, here comes the fuel. was going to pour some gas down the float bowl, but change sounds. Maybe it's okay. Let's try it. It doesn't have a choke hooked up, but shouldn't matter. It's 82 degrees. Uh-oh. Ah, shit. I don't know, guys. Let me see. I had a little can of starting fluid here. I know that gas is old and, well, I think I cleaned out the tank. It just must be a little bit that was left over. Let's just try that. Still doing the same thing, isn't it? Uh-oh, flamage. Ah, shit. Is it even getting gas? Let's see. Filter's full. When I disconnected this, it was pumping out there. And the carburetor worked great in the El Camino. Is it getting in the float? Well, let me mess with it. I'll be back. Okay, guys. I filled up the float bowl. Started right up. Run good for a couple minutes till it run out, and then same thing, start and die and all that. So I think, you know, it runs on good gas but not bad gas. Now I was just thinking this is probably, you know, I put at least 5 gallons of good gas in that. I think I took the tank out and emptied it. And of course, you know, you put gas in there and it turned brown because there's a little bit of sludge in the bottom. But it still should run. But that was quite a while ago. Now, I was just thinking, because I just got some gas here to put in a cup to fill up the float bowl. I usually fill up all these containers at once, bring my truck and fill them all up. Now, I just filled them up a week or two ago. I already got these 2 empty. And I used 3 gallons out of that one that's just filled up. Now, I use them for the cars and for the lawnmowers. This is a new lawnmower. Haven't used it that much, that a sponsor sent me. So back months ago, I used one of these jugs. It was like half empty. I know it wasn't full. It was about half empty. So I poured it in the lawnmower. Filled the lawnmower up, doesn't take very much, a little cup full. Tried to start it, it would not start. Messed around with it, and it's like, this thing's brand new, it ran great. So I emptied the gas out, and I used another can. Put that gas in there, fired right up, run perfect. So one of these jugs got water in it. You know, I put them underneath the carport like this, and they got caps on them, but not very good. Some of them are tin foiled up, some of them could have holes in them. One's got a rag on it. So the only thing I could think of, and the one that was contaminated, I'm guessing with water, was at the front here. So rain came in and got water in that gas while the lawnmower wouldn't start. So I immediately, whatever was left, half of it, I just dumped it out, so I wouldn't reuse it on especially a car. So did I use half a can of that in this, and that's what's causing the problem? This friggin' got water in it from one of these jugs. It's the only thing I could think of. The only thing I can do is take this tank out and dump it out, or run them pumps, which they'll probably burn up. Run them pumps into a jug until till the gas tank's empty, then put in 5 gallons of fresh gas. Used to use some type of alcohol to mix with the gas. You'd put that in the gas and it would mix with the water and burn it. I haven't done that lately in any cars because I haven't had no water contamination. It's the only thing I could think of. And now, like I said yesterday, I just put in 3 gallons of good gas, but that ain't gonna matter if there's water in there. So disconnect this line, put it to a jug, drain all that gas out of there, which is going to be 3 gallons plus whatever's left out of the initial 5 gallons I put in there. I haven't really run it very much. There could be up to 8 gallons of gas in there that's contaminated. I got 2 empty jugs. I guess I can do it. I'm afraid those pumps won't last that long, but they might. So that's all I can do. It's got to be the gas. Okay, let me mess with it and I'll be back. Okay, guys. You can't tell how yellow it is, but it's pretty bad. I don't know, it looks cleaner than it did before. It's supposed to have bubbles coming through. Maybe it's... See, there's no return line. I capped off the return line right here. Because, you know, I don't know if it needs that or what. The vent line is right here. I hooked that up. That should be venting anyway. So, I don't know. I guess I could pump it out. Which fuel pump's gonna burn out first? That one or the one behind the tank? Beside the tank? Okay, I'll be back. Well, I got to, I went down and got 2 more jugs of, containers of brake fluid. So I'm gonna go around here and do the 1 main bleeder probably 2, 3, 4, 5 times and see if that'll help. Okay, so I'll do that while it's draining. I'll be back. Okay guys, I filled up that whole 5 gallons. Done it till it didn't come out no more. Put in 5 gallons of fresh fuel. pumped it into that, coming out nice and clear, coming in here nice and clear. Hook it up, you know, make sure it was getting gas in there, and doing the same thing. To start then die, start then die. I messed around with the choke thing here and kept messing with that. Didn't seem to help. Put on new vacuum caps. And mess with the timing. I don't know what it is. You know, initially when I first put this motor together, it seemed to run okay. It would, you know, run for a couple minutes then die, not for a couple seconds and die like it's doing now. So I don't think it's the carburetor. I doubt it's the distributor. It's just a cheap $50 eBay special carburetor and distributor. And it's not the gas, and it's not the gas flow. I don't know what it is. I have no idea, unless it's just sucking in a lot of vacuum from somewhere, from that intake or something. Yeah, it's supposed to be a TBI intake, but then again, they're supposed to be all the same. Gaskets are the same, but these bolt holes here are supposed to be a little bit bigger on a TBI intake, unless you take a regular one and wallow them out. So this intake is supposed to, you know, it all fit and bolted on, but you know, it's just a used one. It's got to be that. I don't know what else it could be. Don't know what else it could be. But I think I'm going to put that carburetor back on the El Camino. And we can run it. I haven't run the El Camino in a couple months, but, you know, I've driven it a bunch. And it just... But like I said, it did have the choke hooked up to it. Just the little heat riser choke. But I guess that's what this hole's for. And it hooks into there. But yeah, see, I got all caps on there and everything. I don't know what it could be. It's hitting on all the cylinders and everything. I don't know. We may have to give up on it. It's getting later in the day. I don't know where my damn... Well, I had my phone. I don't know where it is. Oh, it's on the seat here. I don't know how long I got to mess with this, because it's only 2:30, but been messing with it for about 3 hours. I went ahead and bled all the brakes around again. Got used over half a can to keep refilling it. It's getting brake fluid out of all 4 cylinders there, so, but it looks like a lot of air bubbles coming through. I haven't tested. See, it seems like it has brake pedal, but when it's running and you hit it, it goes to the floor. Now maybe this brake booster's no good and it's sucking a lot of vacuum out of there. You know, that would make it die. Can't hear nothing like it's sucking. But I can take that off and plug it and see what happens. That's the only major air thing. And this shouldn't matter. Like I said, all the rest of them are all plugged off. Yeah, usually you would hear something in this brake booster. You would hear it going psh. But maybe it's bad. Yeah, it's got to be this or the intake. That's the only thing I could think of. But anyway, yeah, maybe I'll try that. But anyway, yeah, it's 82 degrees today, and it's going to be nice out tomorrow. 80 degrees tomorrow, and then boom, the next day the cold front comes in tomorrow night, and it's going to be a high of 45 or something. So it's going to drop 40 degrees, and won't be able to do nothing. But after a couple days, it's going to get back in the 60s. We're having a heat wave right now. Like I said, 82 degrees. Hell, for the last 3 or 4 days, it's been like that. Been getting a lot done. But I can't waste all this good weather today and tomorrow jacking with this thing. So if it comes down to it, we're just gonna have to tow it out of here. It's like I said, we need this bay open. You can see I cleaned up some of the stuff here, moved it, and just got this little stuff here. This just for the 67 Camaro. And then this stuff can be moved. Same with, move the heater and welder stuff over here. But I moved all this stuff here. So yeah, and I got other stuff to do too, so I can't be wasting the next day and a half on this thing. I don't know what it is. And I don't have no other parts. I don't have another intake. I probably do, but you know, usually when I swap intakes, well, usually it's from a 2-barrel to a 4-barrel conversion. I'll buy a new carb and a new intake just so I don't have no problems. But no, I didn't do it with this one. I should have. But I thought that TBI was going to be a lot different and more expensive. It's the only thing I could think of. Okay, well, I'll mess with it some more and I'll come back with an update. Or tell you there's nothing we can do with it for now. We'll just have to drag it out of here. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I swapped carburetors back. So I got the carburetor that came off this back on it. Put a battery in it. Filled up the float with gas. And this is a manual fuel pump on it. So it'll take a minute there to pump. We'll give it a shot. I haven't tried it yet. See, good acceleration. We already went to low idle. It may have just choke thing. Oh, unless it's not pumping up fuel yet. Well, I think there's probably an old filter on here. Probably can't, or not a see-through one. Yeah, there's no gas in there. A little bit left here. There's no gas coming up yet. Probably gonna die, but Yeah, there's no gas. It must have evaporated out of there. But anyway, it runs smooth. There's gas in it. So this one wouldn't. It'd just run for a couple seconds and die. So anyway, I put the old battery back on this. Hang on. Don't want to get a copyright. I took the vacuum off the brake booster, plugged it. That didn't help. The only other thing I could think that it could be is that distributor. That distributor, I don't know if I tested it or it was on. No, it was on that Silverado truck that I sold. It run okay, but it didn't run perfect. Just had a little bit of a shake to it. And I tried everything. I just want to swap carburetors, full tune-up, everything. And then I swapped distributors. And since nothing worked, I swapped everything back. So that was working good. The distributor was working good on the Silverado, same with that carburetor. So unless that distributor's going out, and it was probably a cheap $50 Chinese one, you know, it could, you know, run and then just intermittent spark or something. Doubtful, but I'm running out of options. I don't know. Put in the comments what you think it is if I don't figure it out by the end of this video. But it's definitely not the carburetor. Pretty sure it's not distributor, but we can try it. Definitely not tune-up stuff, because we got all new wires, plugs, all that stuff. Got plenty of fuel. The only other thing I could think of is you know, it goes into here to a filter, and I'm not sure. You'd think there'd have to be a little flap or something. It's been so long since I had one of these apart. I don't usually rebuild them. But for the gas to fill up the float bowl, is there a little flapper in there not allowing this gas to, not enough pressure going in there to fill up the float bowl. So that's what it seems like. Although sometimes it'll run for longer, but I doubt it's that. But I don't know what else it could be. Unless it's something with the TBI stuff there, and knock sensor that's just disconnected, but that shouldn't do anything. No, it's not electrical, because I just hooked up the power wire to the distributor. That's all it takes, compared to a TBI, which has a whole bunch of plugs in there for all kinds of stuff. Well, that's why we put this distributor in. We did away with all that, so that just one wire distributor power it, and it should work. I don't know. Maybe mess with it some more, but running out of options. Okay, I'll be back. Well, guys, I think it is the distributor. So I took a spark plug here. It's getting intermittent spark. Sometimes it sparks, sometimes it doesn't. So what it was doing, which I showed you a while back, it would run for a second, then die. And then sometimes you would, well, most of the time you'd hit the key and it'd start back up, but then sometimes it would just crank and crank and crank and then start. Well, while it's cranking, there's no spark. So in the distributor, is it the coil or the module? I don't know.
I don't know if I can see this. No spark. No spark. Yeah.
Okay. So it's in the distributor. Do I have another new one? No. But should I just try to replace the coil and the module, or one or both? Are they compatible with GM stuff? Because I got some distributors, but we don't know how good they are. Might have the original one from that Silverado. Anyway, I guess I'll have to mess with that either now, it's going to be dark soon, or tomorrow. But yeah, that's what it is, intermittent spark. The wire's connected here. I can connect a tester to that and make sure it's getting power all the time. Make sure it's not that's intermittent. But yeah, I would guess the coil or the module. But yeah, that's what it is. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, here's the coil. Took that off because that's the easiest to check first. Goes in there like that. So let me grab another one from a distributor and we will change that over and see if that gets spark. If not, it'll be the module inside. And okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, first I grabbed this distributor and changed over the coil right here, and then after that I seen that it was an Excel, and that's one I found in the floor of a parts car, so it didn't work. So then I found this in my stash, and I marked it good Chevy 350. Changed the, oh, was that the right? Yeah, that rusty one was. Oh, actually that's in it. That's the original Chinese one. So I put the coil from here in it, didn't work. No sparky spark. So then I took the module, which is right here. This is the Chinese one that's crapped out. Now I've had these distributors crap out before. I think it was on my GTO there. I bought a Pontiac one. Now you start up all the time, and then all of a sudden nothing. I bought another $45 distributor and it worked. But anyway, that goes in there like that. 2 screws hold it in, plugs into there and there. And I just put it in, cranked it, and it just fired immediately. Or had seen spark and it fired up. So just for a second. So let's just see what happens here now. We'll hook up both fuel pumps just in case. And I hooked the spark plug wire back up to the spark plug. So let's see what she does now. Perfect. This has no choke on it, so. Yeah, I was going to change the whole distributor over, and I thought, well, I'll just change that module. Yeah, she might be a little cold. That's it. That's what it was. What a pain in the ass. So if you ever buy one of those Chinese distributors, change over the module. So let's just I said I bled the brakes. See if I got any. Oh yeah. Haha, got brakes. I can't back all the way out of here. Oh, I got that gas can in the way. Hang on. Got all kinds of shit in the way, guys. Uh-oh. I don't think I can back up and get out there. I'm gonna have to. All kinds of shit in the way. I'm gonna have to keep going backwards and forwards and back out of here. No. I still got stuff up front there. Should close that hood all the way, huh? I got ran over something. I can't get around the Mustang. Have to. Diggy's over by the door thinking we're going for a ride. There. Oh, I'm banging around. Yeah, the front end sits up kind of high. I don't know if it's banging or not. I don't know if that's coming from the front or the back. Something's loose under there. Shit. Sounds like the back. Well, we're driving it finally, guys. I was about at my wit's end with that damn module. If anybody knows a good maker of them, I want to buy a bunch of them because I think GM's all the same. Man, I can't believe I got brakes too. Let's see if we can. Uh-oh. Just seeing if we do a brake stand. do both tires. Need to do it up there where it's all grass. All you gotta do, fine tune the distributor. Yeah, something's, oh, it's a right front or the back. Little bit there. Yeah, I know I can jack it up and turn the wheels, but I don't know. Yeah, it just needs a little fine tuning on the. I think they're both spinning. No, maybe not. Maybe it's just that side spinning. I don't know. We'll check it out later. We'll have to like to change the fluid anyway. But yeah, let me pull it back in there. Nikki will bump into it. She's pretty good about the Mustang. It's been sitting there for a while. Runs pretty damn good. I said, just needs a little. Well, what I'm gonna check is if I disconnect this second pump here, whether it'll still run and everything. I gotta pull the thing up. Well, guys, I think that's it for the video. That's what I wanted to accomplish, but it took me 2 days to figure it out. Yeah, I gotta use 2 hands here, I think. I gotta do that, pull that. Hang on for a second. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to figure it out. That big Carter that I got, I mentioned it before, but when I put it up there, somebody said it was upside down. Well, it didn't come with any instructions, so I was thinking if that's a good one, that's going to last longer than these cheap ones, which it should, because I could put that up the back and just run the one pump. I don't care to have one up here, but I know that back one up, that'll go out, just a cheap thing. But anyway, we got a few little things to do. Got the brakes and running good now. Just a little fine tuning on the distributor and whatever that banging was. I know it's not the subframe bolts because we loosened them and had to adjust that whole front end over. They are super tight. It's got to be something under here, loose control arm bolt, or I don't know, or unless it's in the back. But minor stuff compared to to how far we've come with this. If y'all been following along, for you that guys that haven't, boxes of parts, just no interior, no engine, no transmission, just boxes of parts. Front end was off, just a real pile, and I got it this far. So like I said earlier, I won't repeat myself on what we're doing, but I think that's it for this car. Like I said, I mean, until I do the little things, I may order a fan shroud. I'd sure like to get one. And you know, possibly 2 back tires and stuff, but I can put it up for sale and see if I get any bites without doing too much more to it. And then if we decide to paint it, spend the time painting and decaling and all that, then I'll have to get new tires, fan shroud, whatever other little stuff there. But anyway, so we'll end the video on that. Let me know what y'all think. Not sure why that front end's so stiff, but they might have used station wagon springs in the front or something. Who knows? But it was all new stuff. Yeah, so I guess that's the last video for this for a while, unless we paint it or I sell it. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna finish moving all this stuff out of the way, and then tomorrow I can finally work on something else. We got the 67, we got the Mustang, and the tiny house. So tomorrow I got to pick my battles here before well, it's only going to get down to 40 something Monday, which I probably won't work, and then 50 something the next day, and then in the 60s after that. So just a day or so of too cold, but we got to clear this out so I can paint the Mustang here anyway. So I'm gonna put all this stuff back, and man, what a job. Okay guys, well, subscribe if you haven't. Like, comment, share, all that stuff, and we'll see y'all next video. Thanks everybody for watching.